Hello, folks. Welcome to the live stream. Looks like we've got a few people tuned in already. We are covering the Foxwoods main event, $2,700 buy-in. And we're working out a few kinks in the system. Looks like we have our stream looking pretty good. And sound seems to be up and running. We're down to 9 players. We had Andy Kaplan finish in 10th place. Andy is a consultant from Cranston, Rhode Island. He's going to add, what was that, 8,000 to his poker bankroll. So congratulations to Andy Kaplan on 10th place. He was in our 10 seat. He's spread out, and now we're 9-handed and ready to roll here. This is a big event, $2,700 buy-in, 182 entries. That's what Foxwoods does. They have a beautiful dedicated tournament room. Great place to play poker and a great place to play tournaments, so they get big turnouts. And on a $2,700 buy-in, 182 entries with $485,000 in the prize pool. It's a lot of money, folks. That's how you end up with a first place of over $120,000. You'll see in the upper left corner, you've got the payouts scrolling, the current blind level, which I will update right now. An interesting thing to note, Mike Nye, who was at this final table, came in 4th in this same event last year. So if he's selling action next year, I'm in. I'm buying some. 2 years in a row in such a tough field is pretty impressive. We've got Minnesota Molly running the reports on the live stream. She'll be popping in periodically from time to time. We're hoping to see her at least every break. She's also handling the reporting on foxwoodspoker.com, where you can always see updates on their events. She's been reporting for the last 2 weeks on this Foxwoods Poker Classic series. It's an impressive series, really. They run a lot of tournaments in this thing. Get a lot of people showing up. That's what happens when you run the biggest room on the East Coast, one of the biggest rooms in the world. And a beautiful room. They have the cash room downstairs, and then, I think they have close to 100 tables in the cash room downstairs, and then nearly as many tables upstairs in the tournament area, so they can run really big things here. As we go through the players, I've got some information on each of the players that we'll cover. I had them fill out information sheets before we started the final table. Looks like a couple of all-ins here. The 2 seat, Tony Roberto from Boston, is Queen Jack, which looks pretty good unless he makes 2 pair here. He's a big favorite, and he will win it. He just didn't want to see that Jack. And it looks like he busted the 7 seat, Brad St. Vincent. Brad is from Bristol, Rhode Island. He's a professional poker player. Been doing that for about 5 years. And he has the best girlfriend in the world. She picked his outfit for today, too, after doing his laundry. That is the best girlfriend in the whole world. So, congratulations to Brad. He will finish in 9th place. I'll go add his name to the payouts. There we go. Now we got Brad up in the payouts list. Appreciate all of your patience here. Doing our very best to run a smooth stream on a very short notice. You can always find information on our streams at blindstraddle.com or follow us on Twitter at blindstraddle, as you see there on the screen. We're going to be covering major live poker events. We'll be doing some of them this way using the stream from the house themselves, and we'll be doing some where we actually show up and stream ourselves so we can really get everything set up in a smooth way and do a really high quality broadcast. This is really just a beta test for us. We're not there yet. Sometime in the next few weeks we will be, but I thought this would be a fun event since Molly's part of the company. She was covering this Foxwoods event, and they were kind enough to let us use them as a test subject. So here we are. Hope to have an even better looking stream next time, but this is approximately what we want to do. I'd like to have all the information up on the screen for you, a little commentary. In the future we'll probably have 2 commentators and a live reporter on scene. This time just one reporter, 1 commentator, that would be me, and the reporter would be Molly. And Molly is Minnesota Molly, as she's known in the poker world. She's been doing poker coverage for quite some time, and she'll pop in Molly Mossy on Twitter, at Molly Mossy on Twitter. She'll pop in on breaks and give us some information about the players we're looking at. Blinds at 6,000, 12,000. Total number of chips in play would be, I wonder what they started with here, probably 25,000 or 30,000. I'll have to try and check with Molly to find out that information. Because I am not at Foxwoods. I was at Foxwoods for the last Foxwoods Classic event a few months ago. Had a really good time there. Played the PPC Poker Tour event. But I am not there now, and that's part of what we're testing, is the ability to do commentary on a live stream. Hey, Molly's here. And now Molly's gone. Molly was here. You can hear Molly typing away on the keyboard. She's Probably sending me some information on players. We're going to add in the table here. You can hear some of what the background noise is. And hear Molly typing, of course. The players are mic'd up. We're hoping to have an even better mic next time for them. We have 21 minutes left on the 6,000, 12,000 level with a 2,000 ante. You can see across the bottom of the screen. That green square you can see right in the center of the broadcast area is the flop cam. We've made that a little bigger than they usually have it, and when there's an all-in, we've got the dealers who will put the cards in that box, and so we can actually watch the all-in happen and see what the hands are. It's a big help. And Molly will... he's kind of manually clicking back and forth. I'm going to briefly go through our players when we're not in a hand here. Although the hands are moving pretty fast. This has been a quick final table and a quick day, actually. We started the day with 13 people just 2 hours ago. We're already down to 8. And they really got deeper than we expected. I thought it would really take a long time to get to this final table today. In the middle of the day yesterday. Anyway, I thought that just because the structures are really good in these events. But a raise from... Better go look and make sure I know who that is. Oops. The style of live stream will take some getting used to. We're doing our best here. Making sure I know the names of all of our players here. So, looks like Andrew Dean is our one seat. His favorite hand is aces. He's APD 0290 on PokerStars. And his Twitter is Andrew_P_Dean at Andrew P. Dean. He's from somewhere in Massachusetts. I cannot tell with his handwriting as he's filled out our form what that town is. Something Hills in Massachusetts. And he is a professional poker player. His hobby is drinking. I know some people that are the other way around. The people who are professional drinkers and their hobby is poker. Andrew Dean in the one seat started with a $50 deposit when he was 16 on PokerStars and has played professionally ever since. And doing so for 10 years. His poker goals, as many of our poker goals, make enough money to never work. That's my poker goal too. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Moving on to the two seat, we have Tony Roberto. His favorite hand is anyone he's dealt. He is at Tony I'm Running Out on Twitter, from Boston, and his occupation is either entertainer or pro gamer, professional poker player, and former WPT champion. This is a really stacked final table these guys can play. And that'll happen when you have a $2,700 event at one of the biggest card rooms in the country. You're going to end up with a big stacked table. These structures are so good that bad players don't have a lot of shot to make it to the end. You're going to end up with a very strong table here at the end. Interesting where he filled out how will you spend your winnings. Giving half to my future wife. Hope it's not more than one. So either he has somebody he's seeing now that he's more than happy to give half to, or he just wants us to let all the single ladies out there know he's about to have a bunch of money and he's willing to give half of it to his future wife. Good luck with that, Tony Roberto in the 2 seed. In the 3 seat, Bradley Yazia. He doesn't have any online screen names or a Twitter handle. His hometown is Baltimore, and his occupation is between jobs. He has no hobbies, no poker goals, and he will spend his winnings on rent. Looks like we have a raise and a couple callers. Might be some action here. And our caller on the cutoff seat there is David Stefanski in the 6th seat. He's been playing poker 14 years. And he's also a professional poker player. A table just stacked with pros. And they will check it through on the flop. Big scary flop unless you have a monster there you often don't want to bet. Both players happy to take a round off on the flop. And there's a bet from Bradley Yazia, and he takes it down. All those big cards out there must have missed Stefanski. Looks like a raise and a re-raise. 3-bet from the button. And an all-in. He said, go ahead and re-raise me. That wasn't the button that 3-bet, or the button already folded. It is now up to the small blind. And Dean is thinking about it. We might have a big hand here. Just running a couple of quick numbers. We have about 5.5 million chips in play here. So it's going to be a while. It'll be sometime around the 50,000, 100,000 level that this thing will end. Maybe 6120. For the blinds to be, and we get a fold from the opener. So the big re-raise from Andrew Dean takes it down.
Oh yeah, that's right.
One of the things I noticed about Foxwoods when I was there a few months ago, these dealers are fast and efficient. They run a seriously professional card room there. The dealers, the floor staff, even down to the waitresses, they're fast and efficient. Fold it around to the button. Dean raises his button. And Roberto folds. And we get a call from Yazia. See a flop here. 993. In all likelihood, that kind of flop doesn't hit anybody. It's a flop that sometimes brings some action because everybody thinks nobody else could have hit it. I expect we'll see somewhat conservative play for a little while with a huge mountain of chips in the 2-seat there. Indeed. It's just a bet and a fold. And Dean stacking more chips. So Roberto in the 2-seat just has a huge pile of chips there. There's some other big stacks as well in the 8 and 9 seats. But with a lot of chips in one place, and it looks like Dean has quite a few chips as well. A lot of chips in a few spots, it tends to slow down action. The short stacks want to wait for the other short stacks to go out. They don't feel like they have a lot of shot to catch the big stacks. And so they will end up playing very cautiously, and when they do play, they'll be all in, trying to just take the blinds down. That can lead to a lot of raise it, take it hands. And not in this case, though. We got an all in. That's our 4-seat, Tom Dobrilovich. Ooh, with jacks. Wrong time to get jacks for Tom. He's at TommyGun2829 on Twitter. He's a professional poker player, loves to watch sports, and has been playing for 7 years. And he is going to be out. And out in 8th place. Tom Dobrilovich is our 8th place finisher for $15,762. Not what he was hoping for once he ran this deep, but a very nice score. Nice score. Make sure that all fits in the stream. It does. So now we're all set with our finishers there.
Should I? Okay.
Money's starting to get serious, and play may slow down a little bit since the jumps are so big now. Although I've been thinking that for almost 24 hours, that play may slow down, and it hasn't. It's like the whole field's playing to win this thing, which is how it's done. The money's in the top spots, so playing to win is the way to do it. A raise from Jamie Kaplan here, called by Roberto. Roberto looks to have more chips, but this is a clash of a couple of fairly large stacks. Maybe that was a re-raise. We're not seeing a flop yet because that was in fact a 3-bet. And Kaplan's thinking about it. He's gonna fold. So Roberto's advantage grows. The rich get richer. That happens sometimes, especially at final tables when people start to slow down. There's a lot of money at stake. A big stack can be a real bully because nobody wants to go out next. They know how big those jumps are. We're going to see a flop. It's like that Roberto or Dean. I think